Good morning, All Souls Community Church. It's Friday, June the 12th. And this week we've been looking a little bit at the Beatitudes and trying to lean into what Jesus has to say about a life of blessing, a life lived in the world, his way. And it seems like so much of what Jesus has to say is upside down. And yet what we see when we live into the way of Jesus is that his world actually works his way. It always does. It always does. And so when he says, blessed are the poor in spirit, that humility is the heart with which we should live in this world and through this world. It doesn't make sense on a lot of levels. To be humble oftentimes feels like you're going to get stepped on and people are going to overlook you. And no, humility is disarming. Humility is powerful. And as Tommy talked about yesterday, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, that there is a way to desire the things of God, the things that he says we're actually made for and that are good for us. And as we desire those things, we are going to actually be satisfied because the day is coming. And indeed, there are inbreakings of that day, even today, when we get to be satisfied by the heart and goodness of God. And today, the end of the week, I want to talk about something. It's called peacemaking. There's another beatitude. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. And that seems like, are they excluding the daughters? No. Anytime you read the word sons, and it's kept there, it's intentional. And it's intentional because in the ancient world, to be a son, and specifically to be a firstborn son, was to be the son of inheritance. It was to be the person in the family that was going to be doubly blessed, but also have double the responsibility. They would take over for the father when the father died, and there would need to be a blessing to enable the care for the rest of the family. And they would need to know that responsibility, but be prepared for that responsibility. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because when Jesus says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God, he's saying that there's a certain way of living in this world that everyone is going to see that you are indeed the child of blessing, the child of God who's received a double blessing and who's living into that responsibility. And he says it's about peacemaking. And one of the things I learned early on in my marriage was that peacemaking is very hard, right? We tend to fall off one side of that spectrum or the other. We tend to either be peace breakers or peace fakers. Early in my marriage, and probably still a little bit now, I tend to be more on the side of the peace breaker. You know, the one who, when there's an issue, I'll try to push it down, and then it'll explode, right? And that peace breaking is you get angry, or you try to squash the situation. And Kristen, don't tell her I said this, tends to be more of a peace faker. And so it's pretend like there's no issue, just kind of smile and pretend like there's no issue. So you're faking the peace, hoping that it will be peaceful. And both of those ways are not of God. Both of those tendencies pull us away from living in the blessing of God as his children, as his blessed children. For we are to be peacemakers. Peacemaking is especially hard. Why? Because it requires in us a willingness to enter into the conflict, a willingness to speak the truth in love, a willingness to be hurt by the other, a willingness to say that I'm for you and I'm going to be by your side no matter what. And that's not just in marriage, that's in life. That's in life. Blessed are the peacemakers. And if there's anything that our culture needs right now, if there's anything that our church needs right now, it's peacemakers. It's those who are willing to step into relationship even deeper, even when it hurts, even when it's scary, even when the person sitting across the table from you does not agree with what you say and does not think the way that you think and is probably going to hurt you. You're saying, I am willing to pay the price to make peace. That, friends, is who our Jesus is, the one who paid the price with his own life to make peace for us. And he calls us to follow him. And here's the wonderful thing. Whether it's in the face of racial injustice or in the face of coronavirus and quarantine and all the conflicts that happen in the house because of that, we get to be those who walk into every conflict and know that it's an opportunity. Did you hear that word I used? Opportunity. Every conflict is an opportunity for what? For the God who loves to take broken things and make them whole. That's the word shalom. For the God who loves to take broken things and wrap them up into a whole. That's the word peace. For the God who loves to walk into broken things, messed up things, things that are exploding, and speak words that can calm even the craziest of storms in us and around us. Today, friends, God invites us, Jesus invites us to follow him as peacemakers, knowing full well that that is going to require a cost, that it's going to hurt, that there is going to be pain, that there are going to be relationships that maybe are rockier before they're better. But here's the thing. To fake peace is to pretend like a relationship and the person that we're relating to are in a better position than they actually are. And that's actually a lie and not therefore loving. To break peace is to insist that your rights and your needs are more than the others, and therefore you're going to pull back and wait until it just seems like it's too unbearable, and then you're going to try to control, and you're going to try to squash, and you're going to try to use the power that you have to bring about the outcome that you think you need. And therefore, whether you're a peace breaker or a peace faker, the one person that's in the center of your picture is you. Jesus invites us to a different way of living. He says, fix your eyes on me instead. Fix your eyes on how I've loved you. Fix your eyes on what it cost me to do that. And then as you can experience the transforming love that I give you, I want you to turn around and share it with others in your life who, listen, please don't miss this. They don't deserve it either. They don't deserve it either. Yet they desperately need it, just like you and I. And so today, whatever the conflict is in front of you, however much you feel like you've been unjustly hurt, that's one of the other Beatitudes. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. In other words, they don't deserve it. They're blessed too. If you feel like you've been unjustly persecuted, know this, you're blessed, because you get to be the one who makes peace, not because you're trying hard, not because you're smarter, not because you're just being really patient, but because you're bringing Jesus into the middle. Because you're bringing Jesus into the middle, the man of grace who empowers our hearts with grace so that we can share that grace with one another. And what is grace again? Undeserved merit. We make peace by giving enemies in front of us merit that they do not deserve. And that mercy melts. That mercy melts. It melts their hearts. It melts our hearts. And it makes us what we were meant to be from the beginning. One. One. God's invitation, Jesus' invitation, my invitation to all of us today is that we will be not peace fakers, not peace breakers, but peacemakers. For blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called by God and by everyone who sees us sons, children of inheritance of the living God. My friends, it's Friday. Enjoy him today. Can I encourage you, if you've been blessed by this video, to like or share or follow us here on social media? I want to also let you know, friends, that next week starts a change for us. We've been posting these videos every week, every weekday of the week, and next week starts summer for our children and for your children if you live in our area. And so what we're doing is we're going to go from an everyday posting to a Tuesday, Thursday posting and a Sunday posting as well. We want to model what it looks like to slow down, to breathe, to reinvest a little in the summer, and to prepare for what God has for us in the next season. So we're not going anywhere. You just won't see us every day. So if you're looking Monday, you're like, where's the video? It's coming on Tuesday. It'll be there again on Thursday, and we'll see you on Sunday. But my friends, we hope and we pray that God is with you this weekend. Have a great one.